All right. It is 3 o'clock Eastern on Friday. It's time for a Farkle Friday. 2 minutes late, but I had to make sure I got my scotch going. And we're going to start in about 2 minutes or so. I'm just kind of getting everything, making sure I have everything set up properly. Just checking to make sure my sounds are loading and they're streaming properly. All right, there we go. Let's wait for everyone to join. And in the meantime, I will start building. Got a couple things I got to do. This Farkle Friday is going to be okay. All right, I think people are starting to pop in there. Hey, Matthias, how are you? How are you? We're going to start in just a second here. Hold on a sec here. No. Don't be doing that. Okay. And we should have had a quick little interception. All right, I'm going to start in just a minute. I know, I apologize. Usually I try and get here about 3 o'clock on the dot or a couple minutes early, but I was redoing my flow of all of my audio so that my microphone was balanced against my keyboard, it's balanced against Sibelius, was balanced against my Windows audio stream, because I've got to balance the YouTube video that we're going to transcribe with, you know, Sibelius, with So anyways, so let me see who else is here. So far, oh, we've got 2 people. Hey, Raphael, how are you? Yes. So I just picked up, I actually just picked up some bourbon, but I still have a little bit of scotch to get through. Not to get through, this is a treat. So today I'm drinking a Glenmorangie 12-year. One of my friends, Keith, got it for me as a thank you because I whipped out a choral chart for our church choir in like a day, which wasn't the favorite thing in the world to do, but it was fun. Hey, Laurie, how are you? We're going to start in just a minute or two, and we're going to jump right in. Let me first get over to, I'm going to load up onto YouTube the clip that I have to transcribe, and we are going to dive in, and we're going to see. I've listened to the cue like twice, maybe. So let me see if this. Let's dive right in here. Give me 1 sec. Tear this over here. I'm keeping the dashboard open so I can see what everyone's saying. Okay, there we go. All right. Thanks so much for your patience, everybody. I've got over on this window, I've got the chat window, a little bit of the stream just so I can see if anything like goes grossly bad. And over here, I've got my desktop audio and all that stuff. Okay, 3:06, let's get started here. Let's have some fun. I've listened to this cue like twice, and I remember really liking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up my notepad, just kind of what I did on one of my early Farkle Friday transcriptions, and I'll have this out and running. I'll probably drag it in and out as needed. And I will use this to kind of take notes. I may reference some texts and tomes that I have. And we're just going to dive in and see what's going on with this. All right. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's dive in. Let's have some fun with this. I gotta tell you, I might skip around for this transcription. Not in a bad way. I'm just like, things. This is great. This is so good. Clearly a completely different section of the film. It's been so long since I've seen this. I have to go back and watch it again. Oh God, that Glenn Murray is really good. Oh, that was a great cue. That's awesome. All right, so that's great. God, I just got to tell you guys a story. You guys will get a kick out of that. That when I was listening to it, when Raphael posted it, Up in Modernity Sucks, which is a great website and forum. I actually really recommend you guys all check it out if you get a chance. If you haven't checked it out, it's run by a guy named Headshot, who's really focusing on bringing back top end, mock-ups and film score composition and analysis. It's a good place. It's a bit Wild West out there in a good way. It's very passionate. But anyways, go check it out. But when I was over on Modernity listening to this, Sarah was in the other room doing something, making dinner or something, and she came out and she's like, why are you listening to the Goonies? I'm like, oh, it's one of the cues was posted, when we were for discussion. And she was like, yeah, you better be transcribing that. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing it tomorrow. I was like, we're totally doing it. So, all right, so let's dive in here. I'm just gonna start assembling some data on this, okay? And again, this is just warts and all. This is how I do it. There's no right or wrong. I'm gonna do this so you can see what's going on because we're just listening right now. Yeah, there's all sorts of forum drama going on right now that I just want to be around cool people, and I've enjoyed all the forums that I've been on. I've enjoyed myself so far. All right, let's get some form here. Let's see what the heck's going on. Form of this is the Fratelli Chase, starring a very young Thanos / Cable, Josh Brolin, which is great. Let's see here. It's actually very song formish. Okay, this intro, dominant, structure. This is at a high level form. There's something dominant happening here. Bum, bum. I mean, you can hear the 5-1 right there. Okay, so now we're into the A section. It's actually not an intro. It's more of like a prelude, because this is the intro groove. I won't worry about the number of bars yet. Prime, add. Everything is like 4 bars here. There's a dominant. No mute on those horns. All right, very cute. Let's all look at this. What I've just basically said here, I'm not exactly sure how many bars it is yet, but form-wise, this is an AABA structure. What makes it interesting I'm getting a feel for it, that's fine. Yes. This is a breakdown. We'll stop there. I'm gonna feel for it. This is a shame too. Once I'm done with this scotch, I'm gonna switch over to a bourbon and Diet Coke because I just like to sip things when I'm, transcribing. So usually during the day it's like tea or water. But what I'll do is I'll sip this like tea or water and I'll go through 3 scotches in about 3 seconds. And then you'll see some really, really bad Farkle. You'll see like oh God, let me tell you about my first gig. You don't want that. Yeah, if you're listening, now that you're starting to think of it analytically, like I'm hearing that this is like really repeated with orchestral layering. I don't mean layering in a traditional like Hans Zimmer kind of thing. I'm talking about development where the drama is increased through registral increase, through family increase, bigger and bigger stacks, stuff like that. That's definitely like an important part. I think let me dig out some piano stuff. By the way, and harmonically, oh, it's good. There's some really good modulation, but there's also some really simple stuff. Let me see if I can get my keyboard out here. You guys should be able to hear that, right? Yeah, okay, there you go. Good. It's like, like that. There's chunks in there literally just 5-1 in minor, like straight out like Baroque, All right, so I mean, I'm not doing it quite right. We're gonna start transcribing it out, but at a high level, you should be able to. So the first thing is you should start to hear like larger harmonic motion. So I'm hearing lots of 5-1. I'm calling it like classical style. And I think there's like an applied dominant like 1-4. I don't know, I'll figure it out. There's a couple of cool modulations. A half-step modulation that happens somewhere, which is kind of cool. There's a circle of fifths. Raphael, you're right. I got to kind of like parse it out. But all right, let's just dive in. So we got enough to go with here. This is a really fun piece. I am going to, in the intro, I may transcribe the drum parts. It won't be too hard, but I'm going to start with the melodic stuff because that's kind of cooler. All right, let me see here. Let me bust out some Sibelius. So this is my new, I'm going to try this and see if this works. There, I tried a new thing. It looks subtly different, but now it's like tracking, my thing is now tracking the Sibelius window, not the YouTube window, which I guess is good. All right, let's have some fun here. Let's start figuring out what's going on in here. Well, yeah, and there's a total classical thing, but then he melds it with this kind of pop 80s drum groove, which is very cool. Let's jump. Let's not worry about the intro quite yet. Let's get into wow, what is going on here with all this stuff? This is all my old EIS stuff. I don't know what's happening here, but I need a new document. There we go. All right, let's get out the I'm gonna go back to the main YouTube scene so you can see this. Let's quickly build our template, our transcription template. No, you know what? I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do blank, and we're gonna start with. We're gonna go really old school. We're gonna do 4 staves. We probably don't even need 4 staves, but that's okay. 2 treble, 2 bass, just to see. Okay. Okay. Strings on the guitar. Yeah, it's fine. It's great. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right. So here, let me get this stuff. As long as we're doing this, let's get some stuff. It's 4, 4. time say dun 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 3 4 1 2 3 4. You all should be here. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 dun 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 dun. Right? Tempo. Don't know yet. It's fast. We'll deal with it later. I don't care. I mean, I do, but it's like, let me be. Shoot. Let me be no key signature for right now. I'm gonna add it. I know it's pretty tonal, but so Fratelli Chase. And this is Dave Grusin, I think, not David Shire. No, David Shire would never do something this tonal. Transcribed. Mike Worth. Copyright, I don't know, whatever. It's his copyright. It's like 1987 or something like that. Great. All right, how exciting is this? Let's go to view. You know who's really fast with this stuff, the layout and stuff, is film score analysis. Brad over there. He does all those reductions of John Williams' stuff. I need to see that. Why are you not showing me the? Oh, because there's trouble. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. All right, let's start listening to this. And do I have a piano sound? Wait a second. I want to make sure I don't have. Okay, that's that. That's good enough, right? You guys can all hear that. Let me just double check. I'm gonna mute. Looks like it's being sent through OBS, so we should be okay. Yeah, Dave Grusin is a weird. There's a couple of like hidden gems, and I think I did a Farkle Friday on this when I did Trevor Jones, and I did Lee Holdridge, and I think Dave Grusin is another one of those. Another one is like Dave Newman. He is known, like he's certainly known in Hollywood, and he does like big scores, but he's not nearly as well known as Thomas or Randy, who are his cousins or they're related somehow. There goes that scotch. 20 minutes in. That's why we're switching to bourbon and diet after this. Dave Grusin. Okay. Let's jump in here. All right, now we're going to switch to the transcription scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start grabbing stuff. Okay. Give me 1 sec. I don't know why I have my Windows thing open. Sorry, there's like lots of windows that I have to juggle right now. I'm like, what is happening? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's start. Let's skip the intro here. Oh yeah, hold on a sec. Thank you, Patrick. That's a good point. Let me do this. Hold on a second. View keyboard, and let me kill this, and let me do this. Ooh, how's that? You know what, man? Like. This is a great. Sorry, I'm gonna get all like mad at myself for not being this simple. Like, come on, man, 1 4 5, right? 5 1. Let's just do it. All right, let's get this going over here. Let me drag this out of the way, and we'll just do this. You guys kind of see what I'm doing when I'm starting. Don't see the piano. You should. Hold on a second here. Tell me if you guys are seeing this piano. Or not. That's true. You will see the C sheet music, but you know, you guys said you wanted to see it. And it's kind of that thing. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I just, I detached it and made it float. Hold on a sec. Sorry, guys. Give me just a sec here. I did something dumb, which is over in the mixer window. Why are you not? I had the keyboard out and it was showing, and then I detached it, and now it's not showing. Yeah, because I'm showing the window. Watch this. If I switch to this, you're gonna see. Oh, that's the contact piano. All right, why are you not? Now you're seeing it up there, right? There we go. Whew. That was rough, man. That was uncool. There we go. All right, good. Good enough. All right, good enough. That's fine. It's like weirdly off to the side, but all right. Thanks, guys. All right, let's dive into this. Come on. It was like 23 minutes in. Let's go. gonna start playing along with it. A. We're in D minor. Okay, so that's the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have this whole thing. We're gonna at least put it in D minor. Key sig. D minor, the saddest of all keys. There you go. We'll put this up on the desktop, all right? Telly Chase. It's funny, Patrick, you're calling me composer. Call me Mike. Composer. It's very, very flattering, very kind of you. Composer. You have done this. It's Mike. Believe me, I don't even consider myself a composer. All right. 1,000. Let's start with a tempo of about 120. I'm just trying to get some framework around this. Oh, I haven't done this in a couple of weeks. I'm a little rusty. A quarter equals 120. Let's just get started with that, all right? Composer. All right, dive in and out. Who wants to watch paint dry? Okay. Oh my God, it's a little off tune because of the old recording. All right, let's start down here. But eighth note things, right? So this pretty. Okay. And I always try and do this because I'm trying to be very you know, because in the interest of like we want to be able to see this, I'm going to use slightly larger text. Okay. Those are cellos, and they're spiccato, and they're probably mezzo forte. Well, I don't know. It could be piano. Well, let's take a look, because most composers write quieter than the last production does. That makes any sense? You know, because you can hype it with the mix, with the mixing engineer. 3, 4, 2. 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. They better repeat. Okay, good. So we had an 8-bar phrase. I'll write it down just so you guys can see my thought process. A theme, 8-bar phrase. I'm not going to worry too much when I'm transcribing about what the Roman numeral analysis. I don't care. You can hear. I hear bass motion. I hear root motion. And, you know, one more challenge here. All right. So let's go back and take a look at this thing that starts about 20 seconds. It's not hard. I think there's an F there. Okay. Let's take a look. Nope. Okay. It's kind of cool. He's actually doing it like a guitar. Dun, dun, dun. And this is actually, you know what? That's really obnoxious to do. I wouldn't write it like that. I'd write it like this. It's spiccato. It's clearly a spiccato passage. You know what I'd love? I'd love to actually have the spiccato thing there. Where is it? I guess it's oh, I see. They don't have, because it's classical. They don't have spiccato. So you just put staccato's fine. You get it? No. God damn it! I want spiccato. I don't want dun, 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 dun. I want da, 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 da. All right. Let's see how close it is. No, it's not 120. Dun, 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 1,000. So 132. It's even faster. It's like 150. Way off. Doesn't matter. I get better every time I do this. I either win or I learn. Dun, 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 dun. Now the question is, was it done this fast or was it done at 60? No. It's this fast with eighth notes because that way you don't have to worry about the 64th note runs and stuff like that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, that's not hard. That'll get us close. Okay. What's up, Cedric? How are you? Let's go back and listen to this again. The hardest part is actually like writing all the notation parts of it. Okay. Everyone can see everything okay? Don't worry, we're gonna get to the, I'm just gonna get the bass down. I'm just chugging through, chug, 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 chug. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, dun, 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 dun. I think that's pretty much what he did. This isn't hard. The fun stuff's going to be what's happening over this, which is fine. Look, this is this is a great cue. This is also knowing what needs to be holding the anchor and what needs to be flourishing. I have to get those little pizzicato things. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Maybe that's right. I'll know when I hear it again. Yep. Bum bum bum. That's interesting. Oh, it's a C with an E in the bass. Cool. Oh, there's a snake in my boot. Bum bum bum. I think that's it. By the way, there's programs you can get called like Transcribe, which will slow it down, or you can load it into your DAW and slow it down. I'm just interested of like not making this super painful. Let's just try and get some stuff down. Oh wait, there is a little pop there. Hold on a second. There it is. Bum 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 bum. There was an F. It just wasn't where I thought it would be. See, you guys didn't think I caught that. Caught it. Okay, this one's a little bit. Oh, everyone's chiming in. Help me out with this. Da 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 ba ba da 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 da, and then it gets a little fast here. Here we go. Boom boom. Could be a B flat. Let's check. It's passing tone. It's not gonna be nothing too. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, there's a triad, there's a minor triad. All right, that's pretty easy. Whoops, don't do that. Boom, boom. Oh, I'm gonna check that. It's not quite right, but it's gonna be close. Oh, bum, 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 bum. This is a charming little bass line. It's totally pop. It's totally pop. Dun, 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 dun. By the way, I'm gonna have a nerd moment. Listen to this phrase right here. Tell me why it sounds different. This particular bowing on the string sounds a little different than anything else. And why is it? Let's figure it out. This is a good orchestration challenge because these are some of the hints that you can do. Ready? So here we are. Okay, ready? Everyone can hear okay, right? There's B flat, F. Right here, listen. One more time. You hear how that thing rings a little bit? That low G rings? Why does it? Here it goes, dom, 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 dom. It doesn't go, ta, 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 ta. It goes, jum, 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 jum. There's like a boom, jum, jum. Pop quiz. Why is that G particular note sounding different than all the other notes? See if you guys figure this out. This is why you learn orchestration. Not that it really matters, but it's just kind of cool. It's also a little hint of to like what note that is. Anybody know? Nobody knows? It's an online class. Class. Matt wins. There's no maybe about it. You're absolutely correct. The open strings of a cello are a low C, a low G, a low D, and a low A. And as he's moving down, that G is an open string. Because it's an open string, you can't mute it with your fingers. You can't go chump, 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 chump. You have to just let it ring. So that's why it sounds more beefy. The bad news is if you ever read a melody on the open string, you can't put vibrato on it. So if you're doing, let's say you want to do a low cello melody and you want to hang out down here on this low D. And you hit that low C and you're like, oh, I want you to really give it the vibrato. No, you don't, because that's an open C. You can't do anything with it. So you can do like a da 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 ba. Right, and then it goes back in. So yeah, Raphael, sympathetic vibrato is still possible, of course. Don't be like that. So, no, it totally is. You're absolutely right. I'm giving you some grief about that. But more importantly, it's just about using your ears, and like this is the nuance of orchestration. Like there's a difference between open string and not open string, and that kind of stuff. All right, we got our first 8 bars of the bass going. Let's listen to it one more time. Make sure I got it, and then we're all set. Move on and get the stuff we want to hear, which is the chords above it. What is being doubled the octave there? I don't think it's a contrabass. I think it's an electric bass doubling the cello in octave lower. Still listen again. That's gonna help me out with this. I think it is. I might go with that. Yeah. Because if you listen, that bum 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 is way too close in the mix to sound. Everything else, when the pizzicato strings are coming in and the flutes and the horns, they're all back in the orchestra. So that means that this is an electric bass. And again, doing this. You know what? I could be off by a little bit, and I don't mind, because here's why. It doesn't matter whether you're off or not. I mean, it does. And of course, if you have the score, it's even better. I do not have the score. I have a good amount of scores. Some people have given to me off the internet, and friends from LA have sent them to me, but not as comprehensive as some other people that are out there. Electric bass. That's very exciting. Now it's going really fast. Okay, that's kind of cool. Just gonna fake it a little bit. All right. Get that kind of feel going. I don't know, Cedric. I was like, I'm not sure if the kick drum has a pitch because it's real thwacky. I think it's layered with an electric bass because I was really listening for that. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think it's a pitched electronic drum. That has a room sound to it, and that has a mic sound to it, a real nice 80s mic sound. Like, I actually think it is layered with an electric bass. But that's me, that's me. And again, I don't have to be right. That's where I'm going with it, you know? Like, I'm just... Dun, dun, dun. That's pretty close. Maybe. I'm gonna do a first pass this first, Raphael. Not in a bad way, but I want to get the harmonies too. And you're right, we should EQ and maybe hear it more clearly. But I have to rip it then from YouTube to my DAW. Close enough. There's definitely a pitch there. You guys are totally right. All right, give me a sec here. All right, now, by the way, this is where, you know what? You'll get different schools of thought. Some people are like, you only need to transcribe. Some people are like, you only need theory. Some people are like, you need transcription into theory, you need to analyze. My thing is like, why not do both? It's like, come on. You need to have a good ear. You need to also be able to then categorize it theoretically. All right, cool. And you know what I would do actually here? I do this, just to make it easier to read. I don't know. We'll see. That might be a little too easier to read. All right, let's go back and see what's going on here. I'm already hearing the chords mostly. Dun, 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 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. it 3 notes or is it 4 notes in there? Let's find out. Is there a 7th in there? We'll do it that way. 5-1, 4 strings, and that's going to be clearly. And what I'll do here, if I'm doing this for a sketch, is I'll just do this. I know how it's divisying out. We all do. If you see 4 strings, I'm going to put strings like that. Right? If I see violoncellos and electric bass, then I know there's going to be some combination of violas and violins, and it's like, it is what it is. And then this is going to be pits. Let's make it all mezzo forte. Everything's right in the middle. It might be Cedric. It might be a pitch sign layer. You're absolutely right. Well, what's good is here's the important thing about transcription. Our ears are catching musical elements, and we're then reverse engineering how I would do it. And then Cedric, you would do a different thing than what I would do. I would do a kick drum and electric bass because I'm a child of the 70s and the 80s. You might do a pitched electronic drum layered with an acoustic kick drum layered with a sine wave, which is a child of EDM. That's totally cool. The important thing is we're grabbing these techniques and we're reverse engineering how would I do this. So let's take a listen here on this. Boom, bum, bum, bum. All right, so listen here. Da-dum. I'm always listening for the melody. Da-dum. That's the second to the third. Da-da. Well, let's see what the voicing is on that. You know it's that. We know it's that. Look, I'm just catching these intervals. Now the question is it a D minor to a G triad? Or is it a C down there? Hold on a second. I have the air conditioner on and I gotta turn it off. I just gotta pour myself another drink, man. I've been doing this for 25 minutes with no beverage. Wait, is it just 2 verses? Oh, wait a second. It might just be 2 violins. I might be overwriting this. No, Raphael, it's more challenging, but not. This is the difference between Roman numeral like voice leadings voice leading like 1 to 4 to 5 and you voice lead through it, and like actually putting it into the instrument. It's like, how many voices do I do? Sure, I can do, but maybe I just want 2 voices. And so this is the balance of composition and orchestration. How thick and how dense do you make your harmonic motions? So this is homework, and less is more. Gosh, there's one on the left monitor. don't think that's in there. I think it's just 2 notes. Let me go that light. Oh, wait. Just check. Boom, 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 down. It's 3 notes, not 4. I don't think there's a F there. I'll move on. Definitely 2. Nope, there's 3. Listen to that second one. You can hear a bum bum. You can hear a bum bum in the lowest one. There's 3 notes. I doubt he switched between 3 and 2 voices. Yep. Jazz writing 101 here. See where we're at. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make this piano because it really is piano. And we're gonna staccato the whole shitload of them just for the playback. I'm gonna staccato these 2. This is the subtleties of it. It's like, well, is it staccato? Is it tenuto? I mean, like, you got to think of these things. Let me do it without it. Let's have some fun with this. There it is with 2. And it could be 2-part harmony. That sounds too narrow. It sounds too light. Nope. There's 3 notes in there. I wonder if it's... Wait, Cedric, which sounds right? 2 voices or 3 voices? Cedric, which one sounds better? 2 voices or 3? The pits in the original sounds light. It does. Might also be color. Maybe Cedric's right. Now I'm guessing myself. This happened with my Tales of a Jedi, where I second guessed myself out of this. Might be right. Stick with it. Let's see, it just sounds so light there. Oops. How about actually play the right notes? All right. That just doesn't sound right. A 3rd there. I'm hearing the A. All right, we're gonna move on for this. What's that? Bum bum. Yeah. Bum bum. Da da. Yeah, maybe it is just 2. Let's go with 2. Let's see what happens with 2. Let's see how it sounds when we do that. All right. Let's have fun with this. This is hard. That's all right. Let's see what we got here. Let's get this harmony out here. That's a sequence. Da 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 da. There's the circle of fifths that Raphael was talking about. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun. Here's where we start to use our theory that we're like, when we start to use our theory, when we're like, look, we know what this is. It's gonna be some sort of sequence. And you can kind of fill in the notes a little bit. And I tend to do that sometimes. I get a little sloppy. Boom, boom. There, oh no, there's a C to F in there somewhere. Jesus. Unless it's the overtones from the cello. That makes no sense. Yeah, let's move on. Boom. Boom. No, that's right. Got that right. Got those six right there. You can totally hear it. There you get that thing. Oh, oh. It's a jump. It's a bigger jump there. Don't worry, I'm gonna trick it. In about a minute, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna get a drink. Boom, boom. Is it that? Is it that? Might be. But watch what we're gonna do. This is kind of cool. That's it, I think. And there's one more thing happening here in the middle. And I want to finish it, and I'll tell you why. We can check it with the next set of bars. Because the next set of bars, we can check out what the brass is doing and see if it voices similarly. It's going to be thicker, but it's all right. No, it's not that C. Boom, 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 boom. Third there, is it a sixth? Something different. Boom, boom. Just gonna do that. Keep it in thirds. See if that's doing what it's doing. All right, let's get this last bit. Ba-dun, dun. Not a sus. Take a listen here. Let's move on. Boom, boom, boom. So light. Boom, boom. That's it. That's good enough. All right. Then we're going to jump into the next part. Oh yeah, you're getting doubled audio because I have my headphone on. Sorry, or my mic on. Sorry. Hold on a second. Let me turn on the AC while I do this. There's a lot to do. It's like I'm pressing things and I'm like, it's a thing and the. All right. There. Okay. Let's listen just one time. We're going to move on to the second section. Not bad, though. That's pretty darn close. J-Dog, what's up? You know what I need? You know what I need? Everybody, drink them if you got them. I need a little bit of ice and a little bit of this glass here and a little bit of bourbon and Diet Coke. Sorry guys, hold on just a sec while I do this. There we go. Who knows what's happening down here? Magical things are happening. All right. Yeah, this thing is. You know what? And I'll tell you this, Cedric, I'm going to stick with the thirds and the sixths because it is so classical. And this is like us kind of knowing our theory and being like, look, if this dude's grabbing Mozart-y, Beethoven-y type structures, what do they use all the time over there? Thirds and sixths, all the time in the strings, right? So, all right, here we go. That's right, man. Once J-Dog gets here, it's drinking time. Looks like it's drink o'clock, baby. Chillbot would be so proud. All right, now let's see what's going on with the brass. Because, oh, by the way, here's our A section, right? That's pretty easy. We haven't done the, there's our A section right there, right? Let's take a listen here again. I'm going to move on to the next one after this. No mic audio, thanks. God, I have to press F5 to mute and unmute. Oh, God, thank you. No mic mute. Now I'm hearing an F there. Oh, I hate transcribing when this happens. You start getting in your own head. No. Yeah, audio's back. I keep on hitting the F5 to mute so it's not spilling over. God, you guys want everything. It's like you want it not double when there's the thing streaming, and you do want it when I'm talking. It's all right. I'm having fun doing this. All right, let's get through this. Uh-oh, changes. All right, so there's leading tones going on there. All right, so let's do that. So here's the A prime section. I'm gonna call it B, but it's the A prime section because these are the rehearsal numbers. More beverages. I've been really good too. I've been, all right, let's take a listen here. Da-da. Oh, it's modulations. It's just totally changing. This is not an A prime. Oh, he does a variation. He does the descending. All right. Let's see here. Nice, Matt. Botanist Jen, Woods and Ride thing, exact the same bass line. No, it's not the same bass line. It changed. Mike, we need to have a drink off at some point. Yes, Cedric, absolutely. Yeah, but if you listen, it goes. No, that's not at home. Let me get the bass line first. Goes to a C there. So it goes like this. And now it's moving to this. Now it's going to that. That's a forte. You can hear it getting bigger. The bass line's all different now. All right. All you guys need to be staccato. But we'll deal with that later. You can hear it right there. Oh, shoot. It's not exactly right. I'm just laying stuff down. And this is that. Right? Regular beat tonight changed. Man, good year. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, good year. I don't know, man. Look, I thought there was 3 voices in there, Cedric. You grabbed 2. It's a team effort thing. It's a team effort, you know? And I can hear harmonies really well, but a lot of times my harmonies come out of jazz and pop, so I add extra notes when there shouldn't be. And that's something like going back to this kind of stuff, I gotta remember it's like less is, I even said like half an hour ago, like less is more, less is more, less is more. I have to tell myself that. Like sometimes it might only be thirds. It might only be thirds, you know? So tomorrow is World Gin Day. Yes. A good gin, man. Matt's got a couple of gins he's been throwing my way that I gotta try out because it's oh, Hendrix is beautiful. You have to have Hendrix with cucumbers. You don't have to, but it really works well with a cucumber. It's more of a fresh herbal kind of thing rather than like a limey kind of, you know, like citrusy kind of thing. Let's see what we got here. Let's track that. Dun, 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 dun. Really want to get to those brass stacks. Works with rosemary. Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds really cool, actually. Rosemary, a gin. Yeah, sure. Very floral. Very. See, this is why, like, I go through this really fast. Imagine if this was scotch. I'd be like, if anybody's ever done like Vertis classes, when he gets in his rhythm, because he's, I think, hydrating as he does it, or he's keeping his mouth, he'll throw it back. He holds it together real well, man. People sometimes said like, oh, you know, you and Mike kind of have similar styles. I'm like, in some ways we do, and I take that as a compliment. I really like his style. But one of the many things I do not have is his durability. Like he went for like 7 hours one time. Like, dude, I'd be peeing like every 30 minutes. It'd be awful. I'm gonna have to pee on this probably. There's a thing I'm missing there. All right, that's all messed up. That's all. All right, I get that. We're gonna cheat a bit here and assume that I would assume that it would do that. Play a little bit of theory game here. By the way, this is also where yeah, and we'll get to the timpanis too on that too. Notice I have 2 bass staffs ready to go. Again, remember the purpose of transcription. It's a couple fold. One is to like actually see the reduction, which is important, and sometimes you have to really do the reduction very specifically. Like when I did the Tales of a Jedi Knight, I was really trying to reduce it in a way that a sketch score would have been created. Because I'm kind of reverse engineering. That way when I sketch, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the way it would look if John Williams or Jerry Goldsmith did it. I'll do it that way. But the second is also to generate ideas for your composition. So in this case, I'm just getting a vibe for like, okay, the bass is doing that. It's not just sitting on one note. It's got these little leading tones, got these little wiggly motions. And that's cool too. Like we're arming ourselves. This is like self-composer training for the day. So that's a good thing. All right, more Goonies. B section, or A prime. Wait, I'm lost, God. It's not right, but I want to get through that. that a D or an E? Let's see. Oh, the timpani answers are great. Yeah, they're perfectly placed and they're awesomely like just disjointing and fun. Dun, dun, da, da, da. Yeah, it is an E. All right, bum, bum. I could be off with that a little bit. Let's see what's going on here with that. But I want to get to the brass. Oh. Dude, modulation to the relative major. That's awesome. I mean, this is, who said earlier it was totally classical? I was like, oh my God, you're so right. It's like, he's just pulling classical stuff out all over the place. Start in D minor. In a classical symphony, what do? You modulate to the relative major. It's a minor third up, shares the same 7 notes. You use a different mode. There you go. That's worth a shot of a bourbon and Diet Coke right there. All right, let me just clean this up a little bit so we can see what's going on. And let's get the brass. All right, I'm looking out the door because there's a nest outside my studio window and there are birds that are clearly causing trouble. And, oh, I need to get you down a little bit more because you're being annoying. This would be, I'd probably do this on a different line, whatever. All right, let's see how the closest is. Pretty close, let's move on. And not in terms of like I'm like phoning it in, although I am. I'm trying to like make this like a slightly entertaining Farkle Friday. People, you guys are, girls are very industrious for this. Pretty close. Let's move on because I want to get the vertical structures of the brass. Good day there. Well, salute, Sylvain. Yes, all my Farkle Friday videos will be available later. I just keep them on my YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm doing with my YouTube channel yet, but I want to do something fun, and people are digging this Farkle Friday, so everything for the last year is on there, and it's going to stay on there. Runs the gauntlet. Sometimes it's just a listening session. Sometimes it's a theory session. I'm going to start adding, as soon as I get some templates built, I'm going to add some freestyle composition classes. And of course, I mean, real-time composition, you just watch me like compose in real time. Better than paint drying. And of course, real-time transcription, because that's kind of cool. All right, let's hear what's going on here. Let's get those brass stacks and those riffs. All right, we don't want to be there. All right, we're at the B section. Can you guys hear that? Always try to sing that melody. Bum, bum, bum. No. That's not where it is. Bum. I wonder if there's a 7th in there. That's great. The timpani's doubling. Dun, 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 dun. Watch this. You all can hear it. You know what that is? It's a big motherfucking timpani. Timpani. By the way, let's talk about that for a second. What's the timpani doing? It's not a rhythmic instrument, it's a melodic instrument. People don't get that. I don't know yet. Hold on, I'm just listening to it. I'm just guessing a little bit. I got to actually hear it. You're right. I'm not sure it's a 7th. That tends to be. Let me really kind of dive into this. And I don't know if there's. trumpets in there? All right. This is where it's like, wait, what are we gonna focus on? We're gonna focus on the colors, we're gonna focus on the harmonies. Let's start with the harmonies. We'll get the colors after that. I know I'm hearing flutes. I don't know, I think I'm hearing oboes. So we'll just go with that. Oh, except it's not, it's on the and of the 4. There you go. Dun. We know it's happening. Oh, and by the way, right? Just reincorporating this gesture, but that's why Dave Grusin is smart. He doesn't, I would have, because I'm not as good a composer as Dave Grusin, I would have just repeated the gesture verbatim up an octave in a different color. But Dave's like smarter than me, and so he's like, oh, I can do that, and then I can also do a slightly different melodic tone. Do the second to the third, not the fourth to the fifth. People are still hitting the thirds, they're still hitting that rhythm. It still makes sense, but it's actually developing a bit more, which is smart. Let's all talk again about how smart Dave Grusin is as a composer, because he's a pretty smart composer. This is why I am not a Hollywood composer. That's why I do other things. Is it just that? Is it just winds and thirds? Is it just? It might be as simple as that. It might be as freaking simple as winds and thirds. There's the root of the dominant, the third, the fifth, and then there's the root, and the third. It might be that freaking simple. I think that's it. Less is more, right, Cedric? Less is more. And then look, I'm gonna accent it like that. All right. You know what? Let's go with it. Let's go. Everything's too big nowadays. Everybody's stacked. Everybody's doing like 4,000 octaves of stuff. What's wrong with thirds? What's wrong with thirds in the woodwinds? There's nothing wrong with thirds in the woodwinds. Ask Mendelssohn. He'll tell you there's nothing wrong with thirds in the woodwinds. All right, colors. Oboes, flutes, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna call flutes and oboes. Man, I would love for someone to get this score. Maybe so smart, slowly bringing up the octaves. Ba-ba-dum. Maybe clarinets? Maybe clarinets? Da-dum. Well, that's easy. Ooh, now I'm thinking it might be clarinets, actually. Oh, actually, it'd be oboes and clarinets. Let me listen to it and see if that's... There's the clarinets in there because it's got that high squeaky sound that you get with the clarinet. It's the Hill Street Blues. Or the Magnum PI. Influenced by Magnum PI. Yeah, I think there's clarinets in there. I think it is oboes and clarinets. I said flutes and I was shooting my mouth off too quickly. The timbri's not being very difficult. Pretty much it. This is easier than I thought. There's an accent, but no performer's not playing it well. Maybe, I don't know. Look, like I said, yeah, it might. Cedric, you're absolutely right. I'm kind of hearing this piece not for the first time, but like I think it's like the third or fourth time I've heard it. So. All right, that's it. You know what? And so here's a trick from transcribing. I think I'm feeling pretty good that it is winds and thirds, and then the Tiffany's doing the accent. Now I'm gonna reverse engineer back there and be like, it's probably only two voices back here, because it wouldn't make sense to have two voices later in the piece and three voices earlier in the piece. And everyone, you guys know what I'm talking about when I say voices. I mean like three single note instruments. So if I say two voices, I mean two woodwind instruments, two violins or violin sections, that can each play one note. And yes, I know you can do double stops and all that, but you see what I'm saying? I'm talking about functional compositional motion. So does that kind of make sense? Am I speaking to the choir here? You guys all know this. You're an idiot, Mike. Of course we all know this. By the way, one feedback point I need, I spent some time after I really started committing to Farkle Fridays for the last couple of weeks. I did a VO chain over on OBS, just like, like a noise gate and like some compressors. So just let me know if this new thing is good. I'm trying to get it something where my voice is nice and present, but it's not being smashed. And I'm trying to gate out the noise from my studio. So just let me know either in the chat window or later, like, hey, that sounds pretty good, you can keep it, or oh my God, you sound like Fran Drescher, just let me know. So either way, and play Fallout 4 because it's awesome. All right, let's go dig this thing in here. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just clarinets. God, it's funny because woodwinds are so colorful, and you'd think they'd be so easy to identify, and they are when they're solo. But if they're blended, you're like, I don't know. Is that flutes and oboes or flutes and clarinets? I can't tell. Yeah, look, I got to go with my instinct, which is if my brain said there's a layer there, then like I got to go with that. Like, or else when you transcribe, you can just get stuck in a loop. I'm gonna go flutes and clarinets. And you know what? It's not the end of the world if I'm a little off, because I'll tell you this. Just the act of thinking about it and walking through it makes it a better color. Like flutes and clarinets at the octave, or excuse me, at the unison, is a legitimate color. It's a little high for the clarinets. Like for example, that high note, you might actually have the clarinet player switch to an E-flat clarinet, but most of the B-flat guys can do that kind of stuff. They kind of like it. It's kind of that like shrill little, not squeaky, but like, yeah, and there could be cross voice, maybe. I'm not being dismissive, Rafi. I'm not saying like maybe like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I'm just trying to get a feel for like what's making this do what it's doing. And it's like, yeah, there's woodwinds and thirds. Flutes are in a nice fluffy register right there. They're not piercing. Oboes are a little bit screechy, but they're okay. Clarinets have that beautiful perky kind of squeakiness to them that's really cool. So kind of do what you can, And... Oh my God, there's pizzicato strings. I didn't catch that before. Hear that? Bum, bum, bum. You hear that? It's bum, 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 bum. Here, hold on a second. Okay, hold on. My thing messed it up. Boom, boom. Might be an A. Let's take a listen. Real quiet there, guys. Y'all can hear it, right? Boom, boom. Not a sixth, a third. Grusin's all about the thirds in this piece. You can hear it. Yeah, right now you're starting to hear that pizzicato. Now check it out. bum. Dun, 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 dun. This is horribly notated. I don't think that's quite right, but let's see what's going on. There's still thirds. You realize how freaking small pizzicato strings are. Can you guys hear that? That'd be, you know, violins and violas. Well, let's check the spatial. If you're transcribing, it probably violins 1 and 2. Yes, those are violins 1 and 2. Because of the spatial positioning, they're like there. That's where the violins are. The violas would be there. So that's actually going to be whatever. That's not a big deal. If that's going to be something you just do. That's it. Oh. Hidden parallel octaves. Who cares? Yeah, Raphael, there might be cross voice. Emergency Korsakov does describe that. Yeah, it might be. And I don't know though. You know what? That could be overthinking it, and here's why. Winds like to tune in thirds and sixths. They like that. You know, so if you're doing cross voicings, it could mess with the intonation. And you always want to kind of think of the performer and are they kind of getting what you're conveying? So a lot of like harmonic gestures that resonate with the winds or the strings, thirds and sixths, especially thirds and sixths for the winds, that usually has a lot of merit in terms of like how you're gonna voice it out. I think a lot of times those cross voicings and those interlocking patterns come from when you're trying to make certain harmonic doublings and you don't have enough players. It's like, you're like, oh man, I would love to do this 4-part thing, but I only have 3 voices, and then I have to like, you know, I only have 2 flutes and I want a 4-note chord, and what can I do with the flutes and the oboes to make it work? And then you do the interlocking things. I don't know if it's always like a creative decision rather than a practical decision, but that's just me. But I'm a really, I want to say this in the right way, not be a jerk. I'm very pragmatic when I compose. I'm kind of like, you know, I write this on the piano. How do I voice it with whom I have so that it's as easy as possible to get moving? I don't think necessarily about the aesthetics of were the oboes interlocked with the flutes or were they enclosed? You know, were they interlocked or were they enclosed? I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I wanted this particular vertical voicing. I wanted this doubling. I've got this many players. Let me do this and I'll move on. And then I always try to do what we always try to do, which is avoid parallel octaves, contrary motion to the bass. You know, I'm not really worried about parallel fifths and the harmonies. I don't really care about that anymore. You know, but it's good to hear that. You should be tightening your ear up always. You can hear like my ear is, you know, good, but it needs some orchestral work. Okay, here we go. I may have to do Hendrix actually at some point, but not after this. All right. Let's get this pizzicato part down. Okay, is everyone here? I just pulled my cable and make sure it's still connected. All right, here we go. Now it's starting to really sound like, now we're finding our groove with this piece. Like this piece is really starting, the transcription is starting to really sound like the real piece. Bum, bum. Notice, by the way, transcription-wise, I'm just grabbing whatever melody tone I can hear. I'm pretty sure it's that. Might be a C there. All right. It's not right. That note wasn't right. Let me hear what's going on with it. That's not right, but that's not right. I'm just putting some down so I can move back to it. Ooh. After all that talk, there's a sixth in there, I'm pretty sure. That's the same as that. My musical memory told me that that's the same thing as that. But here's where I'm a little off. And that's not right. That's right. Doesn't have to be right in the first try. That's the other thing I like about transcribing. It teaches me to be okay if my first instinct isn't right. It's just a problem to be solved. How many composers are like, I can't put a note on the page because I'm afraid it's the wrong note? I'm like, no, it's not. There's just better and worse notes. Like what I just wrote there, the dun, 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 is perfectly fine. It would have worked. But I was like, that's not what the composer wrote. And so that'll translate to when I'm writing my own stuff. And I'll say, oh, you know, that was good, but this is really where I want to go. And I'm not stressed that I didn't hit the first thing right. I had some absinthe once a long time ago. I don't know if it's legal here in the US. I was at a party. It sounds like 70s. It's usually, want to do some absinthe? No, but you do the thing where you melt the sugar over it and all that. It was nice. It was tasty. It was very, maybe very dopey. God, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. It's like on YouTube or whatever. Statute of limitations, it was like 12 years ago. Can't prove anything. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think that's a G there. I think that's a D there. That's what I wanted to check out. I feel like it goes down there. Can't you hear it going like bum, bum, bum? I don't feel like it goes up. I feel like it goes like bum, 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 bum. But you can't do that because I've got an A there and that wouldn't work. No, that's right. You can hear that. You can hear the. You can hear the E there as the first thing. Okay. No, that's right. That's right. Gosh, not nearly as much. I thought there was brassy here. Maybe there wasn't brassy yet. That's it. That's real darn close. Okay. Well, here, let's close this thing out here, and then let's. Da-dum, da. This is funny. I see what it is. This is like the best possible classroom ever. It's like you're all drinking, watching the teacher, and you can like stop whenever you want, chat with each other. I'm just gonna keep on going, which is hilarious. I think it's great. Hey, go for it, guys. Like, I don't need you here. No, I mean in a good way. I'm just transcribing, having fun. You guys are picking some stuff up and having fun listening to it and weighing in. And in between, have some drinks, shoot the breeze, talk about various gins. This cue's really shaping up, isn't it? Who's that threw it out? Raphael, was this your cue? I think it was. Raphael, was this you who did this? I think it was. Dude, you know what? We started this at 3:20, I think. Let's say maybe like 3:30 kind of thing. And it's 4:40 and we've done like 16 bars. I'm not saying we're done yet, but I'm saying like this isn't a bad day, right? Now, granted, this is a rather simpler cue and I haven't done the drum part yet, which is a that's that, you just do that. But, but this is what transcription is. And like people are always like, I think a lot of people talk about transcribing, like just do 4 or 8 bars a day. Think about it. If you do 8 bars a day and you do it 5 days a week, I mean, it's hard. I mean, this is an hour and a half, like for me, I transcribe between an hour and a half, between an hour and a half. I'm pushing it a little bit more because I want to finish this passage. But I mean, that is like, well, it is a simple piece. Raphael, this is a great piece. I'm loving this piece. And I'm actually bummed because we're probably not going to get to for this Farkle Friday. Maybe we'll continue it. Maybe we'll have like a part 1, part 2. I want to get to the modulation section. But what's been so cool, this is why transcription is awesome. It's like, it's the bridge between all the theory that we know and like composition. Because you're like, oh yeah, there's like a 1 to flat 6 to 4 to 2. And then you're like playing through it and you're like, oh, I kind of hear how the theory is there. But then you're seeing all the little liberties the composer takes. And you're like, oh, okay, like he's doing that doubling where like this happens. There's a B there against the B into the C. And you're like, oh, it's parallel octaves. Now, in theory, you get busted on that, right? But for us, we're like, no, it's not. It's like the melody is a D to a C, and you got to harmonize it in thirds because you want to keep the third structure because color-wise, you want the listener to hear those strings in thirds. And then the parallel octaves don't really matter that much. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do part 1, part 2, part 3. This would be kind of cool, actually. I realized the real transcription could be like a really cool like thing to draw. I was talking to Sarah and I was like, I don't know what to talk about this week. She said, do real-time transcriptions. The guys want to see you do it. I'm like, yeah, they want to watch me suffer. And by the way, thank you all for your ears and corrections. You guys cleaned up a couple of my things. Like Cedric, you got me off that whole 3-voice thing, which is clearly totally wrong. So, this is why I love transcribing because it takes all that rote theory that you have drilled into your head and you're like, well, how do I use this? And then you're like, oh, okay, this is how I would use this particular Roman numeral pattern, and here's how I would make it lively, and here's how I would create space in it. And everything lines up. It's like here, there's the A note, and there's the A note, and there's the C sharp, and the E, to a D, and a D, and an F. So it's your classic 5-1. And a lot of times you'll hear like with Bach stuff, well, there's these leading tone octaves. And you're like, well, how do you know when to use it? Well, when you see it here, you're like, oh, that's how you use it. Because that C sharp is part of that third harmony that's giving that really tight third sound to the flutes. And I don't care if the bass is doing a hidden octave. You know what I mean? So, here, let's take a listen. let's close this out. Not close out the Farkle Friday. Well, the Farkle Friday will be fairly close out because I had to start making dinner for the kids. Meaning Catherine and her friend and my wife. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I mean, by the way, and the other thing is like, oh, how do you get that ear so fast? It's like, dude, once you start like hearing scales and intervals, that was bum, bum, bum. I'll deal with the harmonies later in a second, because you know what they're gonna be. They're gonna be thirds and sixths. It's only when you get to like Conan the Barbarian that you get fourths and fifths, because a basal Polydorus wanted that whole like primitive sound. That's not, he didn't do it. He didn't do a voice change. I'm thinking parallel. Is it back to thirds? Maybe the third is in there from the beginning. Boom, boom. Might be a fourth there. After all, let's talk about fourths. Oh, wow. It is a fourth. Listen. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. No third there. It's very interesting. All right. Let's take a break for a second. Let's see what we got here. Here's our transcription. And then, you know what, let's talk about it for a bit. You know what? I'll stop here from transcribing. We'll talk about it for a little bit and have some fun with it. And that's pretty darn close. Let me take a listen. Let's track along with this, because I think that's pretty darn close. When first track here, game companies doing music for. Oh yeah, so Matt's got some game projects he's working on. Flutes, clarinets, unison seem right to me. I think so, Raphael. You know what? That's a working color that's good. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing wrong with that. We need to get Farkle to from Amsterdam with his wife and Catherine. From Switzerland, that could be doable. Matt and I are talking about that. We got to the B section, made mistakes, we'll try and transcribe at the same time. We'll learn from that. It's not that bad. Yeah, I'll take the B section. You know what, Raphael? I think we should, because I'm starting to like brain fade a little bit, not in a bad way, but it's like it's a lot for like transcribing for me is very, very intense, and I'm starting to kind of like need my little break kind of thing, which is not in a bad way. I'm just saying, but we can tackle the B section. What I can do is like finish transcribing this a little bit like on my own, and we could jump into the B section on the next Farkle Friday. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen and see where we're at, though. And I don't think on I said this when I did the Tales of a Jedi. I'm shooting for like 85 to 90, 80 to 90%. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely 80 to 90%. Like I probably missed a couple things here and there. Well, I haven't transcribed the drum pattern, but that's not hard. That's just 16 those. It's pop stuff. It's transcribing jazz drums that gets really difficult. But I'm in a good spot. Like we're all in a good spot. We've parsed through it, and more importantly, we've sharpened our ears. We've been really listening to what it means to have stuff. We've been listening to density of texture, 2 voices versus 3 voices up high. That's a big deal. Let's take a listen and see where we're at. We nearly got to the B section. I know. I'm sorry, Raphael. I failed. Here we go. Well, you know what? Let's get to the B section. No, let's get to the B section. Motherfucker. Let's grind it out. Come on. Let's do this. Dave Grusin is going to make so much money off this Farkle Friday. Because the way it works with YouTube is whenever you're playing this stuff, they automatically tag it and are like, hey, if you want to play it with the music, we have to pay a royalty. Which is fine. I'm like, yeah, give Dave Grusin money. Here we go. Let's get to the B section. Because we're real close. Stop. You're going to the thing, wrong thing. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. 1, 2, 3. Dun dun. Before we finish the B section, Raphael brought a great point. It's a great lesson about how less is more, like the 2-voice thickening, which is enough. Yes, right? And I'm really guilty of that. I'm really guilty of like, which is great. And there's a time for that. 4 voices, there's the John Williams. Oh, it's on a B, it's on a C pedal. All that stuff, but sometimes, man, 2 voices is enough, and that's part of being composer. People are like, oh, composer is about being inspired. I'm like, no, man, it's about making decisions. Because once you get to this vocabulary, like you know what to do. It's 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. It's 1, 6, 4, 5, 4, 5 applied dominant. Like 80% of it. Then it's a matter of like, well, how do I voice it? How do I voice it so I'm out of the way of the dialogue? Or how do I voice it so it's dramatic? Or how do I build so that the strings are resonant with each other? And that's the craft. It's all decisions. And then you get the guys like Ravel who know the craft so well that they define the craft. Or Rimsky-Korsakov is the other one, right? Where they define the craft because they understand the resonance of the orchestra so well that they're like, I'll do this and it might break Berlioz's textbook, but I know how the resonance works and I know how the spacing works and I know how the frequencies work. I mean, those guys are geniuses. Yeah, I think the triad is too much, I think. I think it was me just being excited that I wanted to do jazz voicings. I think that's what it is. All right, let's close this thing out. I want to, not close it, I want to get to the B section. Oh, I should do a master class on Ravel. There's an idea. A Ravel class. For another time. Da-da. All right, let's get the melody line for these things. Da-da. Right? Da 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 da. That's pretty easy. bum, bum, bum. Use that timpani as the opening thing. That's high. Bum, 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 bum. Hear how high that timpani is there? Bum, bum. There's no seventh there. So right? I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, it's super basic, but it's totally effective. But you better have your form down, right? You better understand what it means to do an 8-bar phrase. Is that right? I think that's pretty right. I think that's darn close. It's hard. Oh. No, it's 6th, I think. I think it's 6th there. Yeah. Yeah, it's 6th there. I'm pretty sure. Let's get those pizzicatos and then we'll be done. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Good call, Jaden. I hate to be. I'm too crackly. I gotta be smoother. Gotta be smooth, like Barry White smooth. This is a great piece. And by the way, we transcribed like 20 seconds of this. This is no joke, you know? Hey, what's up, buddy?
Are you on Farkle Friday?
Yeah, we're finishing up Farkle Friday. Say hi to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Where are you?
Tired.
Yeah? Did you have a good day at the park?
I had a lot of sugar. Now I'm sugar crashing.
Oh no, she's sugar crashing right now. Well, listen, I'm like 10 minutes out from being done. We're gonna hang out, okay?
Oh, can I get a drawing for Katie Squares?
You can start it. Yeah, we might not do it till next time, but yeah.
I already have a drawing.
All right, want to bring it up?
Yeah. Okay.
But I gotta finish my thing. Don't let me. I gotta finish. I got this. Ooh. See if that's right. Watch out for that.
Oh,
All this
look.
stuff.
Can we have a Farkle Splash contest for the score? Totally, 100%.
It goes to 6th there too in the pizzicato strings. I'm pretty sure, right? You can kind of hear it. I guarantee you it's going to be that. This is where it helps to know theory. Because you can't hear what's going on because there's a drum fill. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not even in there. Let's listen. Hey, the Raphael says hi. It says, when will the Farkle Friday splash intro be ready? Because I told everybody about that.
I have given my blessing.
Yes, but you also need to do the here's where you are in real time because the YouTube is a lag.
I
There's
have
where you
also
are.
given my blessing.
Yes. You need to do your the Farkle Friday splash thing.
Okay, can I show the drawing?
In about a minute, you can. I think that's what it is. I would add that there if I were an orchestrator. I would do it because of the right. That's what I would do. So I know they will. Yeah, but Raphael told me I got to finish the A section, and I'm literally finishing it right now. That's definitely. There's definitely 6th there at that point. I can totally hear it. All right, let's take a listen. We're gonna start wrapping up here. That's pretty darn close. Want to take a listen? All right, let's call this because Katie's clearly into a Katie's Corner kind of thing. Let's take a listen. What do you think? Can we have the Farkle Splash contest for the score? Yeah. J-Dog says there's a waiting chair there for a reason. Use it. Did you hear that? Look, this is good. Well, you know what? Here, let's do a couple things. Let's close this out because it's a good place to be. Let's listen to this 30 seconds that we've done, and then we'll play it back. Actually, no. Let's do this one. See how close we are. All right, let's go track it with this. Wow, good job, man. That took 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Amazing.
That's why I don't feel bad if it takes me an hour and 45 minutes to like write like, well, it's a little faster when you're writing because you kind of know what's going on. That's, yeah, again, very, very close. And I'll take 80 to 90%. I'll take it. I learned a lot from it. And we're not done. We're going to do this again for Farkle Friday, you know.
Next week.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks, because I'm gonna do it every other week, because like I need to have Fridays to myself, you know, to like go see my friends and stuff like that. You guys are my friends, of course, but you know, like I gotta go see Uncle Boo and stuff like that. That's darn close, but let's see what we learned that's so cool. First, the less is more that Raphael was hitting, which is like those things in thirds, 2 voices in thirds can be really, really effective. The second is that great, I always talk about just repeating something and changing 1 or 2 things. He changed here, he repeated this A section. What did he do? He did 3 things. He changed the octave register and brought it up an octave. He changed the colors. He actually changed 4 things, which is pretty impressive. Changed the colors, went to the woodwinds, and the strings, which were the main thing, became the other thing, which was really cool. The pizzicato, which was the main thing, became the other thing. And then the melodic line became a different version. It wasn't like ba da da. It was ba da. It was, you know, it was different notes in the scale. And then he changed the bass chords to make them subtly different. He actually used that classic Baroque like. But it totally works. And again, the difference between playing dry Roman numeral harmonies and actually playing. Oh, you're gonna show it in a second. And actually playing and composing out stuff. You're dealing with register, you're dealing with when things enter in the bar. Look at how much empty space there is in here, right? It's like, this is the chugging ostinato, or the, you know, the rhythmic pedal point. And it's like, dun dun, dun 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 dun. Lots of back and forth, lots of empty space, not walls of sound, which we've heard some scores that I don't particularly like. Like, real control of the register, real control of space. I don't know if this is the hottest thing right now in Hollywood, and I don't really care. I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm saying let Hollywood be Hollywood and let it be what it's gonna be. I like these kind of scores. I like learning from these scores. I like seeing how these scores are so smart about their soundscape. And people always talk about like, you know, oh, film music can be so intrusive and blah, and shouldn't detract from the scene. Well, if you know how to write and you know how to find the spaces, and you know how to orchestrate, so you're doing things like high shimmering sordino strings out of the way of the dialogue, then you actually can do an awful lot with your music and still not intrude. But you have to have the skills, you have to have the craft, you have to learn that. You can't just plunk stuff on the keyboard. You have to think about register, you have to think about orchestration, you have to think about linear space, and you know, I would fill, you know, so go, yeah, Raphael's saying I fill up the overtone. I would too, I'd fill up the overtone series. Hear how effective it is without it. It's constantly moves, yeah. And funny enough, when you transcribe it, I'm like, it's not that hard. We're kind of like looking at it, we're like, oh yeah, it's just thirds. Just a 1 to flat 6 to 5. Like, it's not like, the chords aren't that out there. It's not like some of John Williams' stuff where he's like inventing tonalities or inventing structures. You know, there's certain chords that John Williams does where you're like, you're not even tonal, like, you know, that kind of stuff, right? That's just an intervallic cluster. Hey, what are you doing? Okay, look at the ice. All right, so listen, it's 5:08. Katie's got to finish us up with this. So well, I hope you guys had fun with this. We're not done. We'll a couple more minutes, but yeah, it's really good stuff. So I'll post it. This will show up on Farkle Friday. I will save this so that we can, you know, move and do it again later, which would be really cool. But in the meantime, Kate has to show something important. Hold on, I'm gonna go to full screen for this. Ah, there's my little nugget. What's up, buddy?
Sky.
What's down? What's in between?
You and me, not an oxygen.
Woo! All right, what are we looking at today?
A drawing. Hold. You get to see it first.
Okay, so this, are we doing, is this Katie's Corner where they're actually gonna do?
Yes. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Katie's Corner.
Maybe one day she'll actually do the animation for this. This is one of her main characters from one of her short stories. It's Rita.
It's my friend's story.
Right, how cool is that? Feel free to draw a theme for this. Something in the realm of Lady and the Tramp. He's a tramp, but we love him. Hey, I'm just giving the guys ideas. Or girls if they're theirs too, ladies and gentlemen. So, that was fun. That was really fun. Raphael, thanks for putting that out. That was actually a good stretch for me. Boy, was it a stretch. And And this will be up on Farkle Friday. All right. Okay, bye, buddy. So I'll let you guys all go. It's if my European friends,
Goodbye.
it's got to be like 11 o'clock. Bye, buddy. I'm coming down in a couple minutes. All right. All right. Well, the last thing I was going to say before we leave is you can see there's all these bare walls behind me over the summer, and it's going to take place in dribs and drabs as I get some money in, and we're going to be completely redoing the studio. We're going to actually be painting it. We're going to be actually adding new furniture. We're going to be adding new soundproofing, and we're actually going to move this particular desk, a new desk, to that wall over there. So at some point, you all of a sudden see me in a different position. And it's all for an interesting little master plan that Sarah and I have planned over the next year for Farkle, for me, for my composing career and my music career. So you get to be along for the ride on this, and we'll see. I might even do a channel about the morphing of Farkle. I don't know. We'll see. But man, that was really fun. And Cedric and Raphael and Matt and J-Dog, all you guys, thank you so much for just great to hang out. God, I wish we have to do some sort of like vocal chat thing at some point. But anyways, thanks for your ears too, because you corrected me on a lot of stuff that I was like, that just wasn't. I was like, yeah, you're right. That's not what it is. It's that. You guys are right. I'm wrong. Kind of thing. It was really helpful, and it's part of what transcribing is. Like I said, it's kind of like what Matt was saying with the philosophy teacher. You guys hanging out drinking every so often, be like, it's a D, not an E. Oh, thanks. Drink some more. So, all right. Oh God, it's 11 p.m. It's Friday night. Go close out for the night. Thank you all so much. Yes, we will do some Google Hangouts. That could be a lot of fun. Do a little listening session. It was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed myself. Now I have to go make some dinner. I think we're doing grilled salmon tonight, which I think I'm on for. So I got to do something with that to make it not taste salmon-y, but make it taste awesome. But thank you all very much. Have a great night, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll do the next Farkle Friday in 2 weeks. Okay? Yes, all of you, join your ladies and your children if you have them. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Take care, guys. Have a great night.